Hey there, I just wanted to go over a couple of tests that I had just to answer some questions that I've gotten. I'm going to go over these three tests, so if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. I'm going to go over the stress test, I'm going to go over the sleep study, and I'm going to go over the psych test. So first, stress test. Pretty much the day of the stress test, they didn't want me to take, they don't want you to take a beta blocker, they don't want you to do caffeine, so keep that in mind, people. What they did is I lifted up my shirt, I put on those little sticky things. I don't know. They hook you up to the machine. It's like an EKG, like you're getting an EKG. And thank God I wore a Q bra, people. Anyway, it's kind of funny. Then they calculate your heartbeat and your blood pressure at baseline, which is resting. Then they have you walk, get on the treadmill. Actually, before at baseline, I was so nervous, my heartbeat was up to 100 almost. So they were like, calm down. You're just sitting here, calm down. But they had me walk on the treadmill for a couple of minutes, easy walk. And then after a couple of minutes, they moved the treadmill up to an incline. They kind of moved it up and up like every minute. Their main goal was to get my heart rate up to 178. So I don't know if that has anything to do with age or what, but my dad did his stress test the day after, and they only wanted his heart rate to be up to 148. Now he did a nuclear stress test, and the difference is he had to have an injection, but prior to the test he had a sonogram, so they looked at pictures of his heart. Then he did the stress test, which is a little bit shorter, and then they did the sonogram again. They looked at his heart again. That's actually what I'm going to be doing the second time I take this stress test. So anyway, what I thought was interesting, just a little tidbit if you've never had a stress test. So you've got your blood pressure prior to your stress test, right? Well, whenever you are in distress, you're walking, you're exercising, whenever those vessels open up, your blood pressure goes down. So if you've ever been exercising and you get a little lightheaded, that's what it is, people. I had no idea. She was doing my blood pressure and it was going down, down, and I was like, that's weird. I figured my blood pressure would go up, but it's the opposite. Second test, sleep study. It's kind of like going to a hotel, okay? You're going to get a nice little sleep in a hotel. But before you go to bed, they're going to hook you up again, and they're going to put them on your legs, and they're going to put, I think, maybe one on your foot. They're going to put them in your hair, so you're going to have this gooky stuff in your hair. They're going to put on the mask. It did not cover my mouth, and so I had to sleep with my mouth closed. I don't know why I'm doing hand motions. I had to sleep with my mouth closed, which that was a little hard. I've always had my mouth open. I don't know. Go to sleep tonight. Figure out what the heck you do, because I didn't even realize I did it. Then you go to sleep, and you're supposed to be asleep for 2 full hours. And if you have any issues, if they believe you need the CPAP machine, then after that, they will put you on the machine. This is pretty much the basics, so I'm sure there's more in-depth information. But they want you to be on the CPAP machine for half the night. Okay, I'm an insomniac, whatever. I did not go to sleep. I was kind of awake and then asleep, then awake and then asleep. I never had 2 hours of solid sleep. So they say if you take Ambien or something to go to sleep, go ahead and take it. But you just write it down that you took it, because you don't want to have to go in for a second night like I did. Okay, so make sure you take your stuff and ask them about it first. But when they did put it on me, on the second night I went, they put it straight on. I didn't even get any sleep prior. They put it on, they titrate it up during the night to see how much air they want flowing, and then they know exactly where to titrate you to. Psych test. Almost 5 minutes. Psych test, I had to fill out a questionnaire before I even went in. Questionnaire asked, it was like between 1 and 5 tell me how you feel. And the questions were all the same questions asked in a different way. Actually, I had to do a computer test and a written test before I walked in. Written test was, how do you feel about your body image? Do you feel confident? How do you feel in social situations? What about with your friends? What about with your family? Do you have a support system? How is your sexual drive? So what they like to do is they like to get all of this information, and then I guess they check back with you in a year and see how that's changed. So I had to do the paper, and then I did the computer one, and the computer one asked really random questions. It was like, have you ever, I just remember what stuck out my head. Have you ever been in a situation where you were angry and wanted to kill somebody? Or you were angry and wanted to commit suicide? Just really random. Like they would have like a rainbow question, and then they would throw in a random. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? So that was easy. But then actually going into the appointment, very unthreatening, very easy appointment. The main goal of the appointment was what's your understanding of the surgery, making sure you know what you're getting into, and then a big part was what's your support system? What does your family think? Do you have somebody to help you? Are they all on board? What do your friends think? Have you told anybody? Have you talked to anybody that's had the surgery? I told them all about YouTube and everybody's videos that I watched, but they encourage you to go to a support group, meet someone in person that might live around this area, somebody that you can confide in. I mean, what's more personal than confiding in all these million people on YouTube? I don't know. So it just kind of cracks me up because I was like, yeah, and there's all these people on YouTube, and there's just so many, obesityhelp.com, bariatric TV, and he's like, well, you might want to talk to some real people. So that was kind of funny. But anyway, that's kind of the test that I went through. I did do an EKG. In my program, they have us visit with the exercise physiologist, and I don't know if anybody that's post-op that is actually watching this now after all those going through those tests. I have an exercise physiologist that helps me with stretching. So they want me to do all these stretches every day, and I was just curious if anybody else out there is doing them. Any other program, having you do these stretches. I'm just kind of curious about that. I was working with a nutritionist for a few months, really to stop the caffeine, stop the sodas, really start to get into the protein, vegetable, what life's going to be afterwards. So since March, I've been following that, not as closely as I should, but I know what I'm getting into. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, I thought I'd answer some questions for some people. Hopefully that helps. If not, if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to help you. I'm kind of in like waiting mode. Get my surgery July 7th, so just kind of hanging out. People really have nothing to post on except for answer any questions. Thank you.